finally we come to the last of our male freestanding statues, and this is the youth of Antikythera. Gets his name because he was found in a shipwreck near Antikythera, and the youth element is because we don't actually know who this is, and we're going to look at some possible identifications shortly. Now, with a date of 340 BC, this statue is contemporary again with the works of Praxiteles that we've had a look at, and also the Apoxomenus by Lysippus. And we're looking at one of the few rare bronze originals from the ancient world. So this is a really good example for us talking about the benefits of sculpting a statue in bronze over marble. Now, it's the missing object that makes identifying whoever this statue is of difficult. There are two possibilities, well, according to scholars anyway: Paris, in which case he'd be holding the golden apple, or Perseus holding the head of Medusa. Now, we spent quite a lot of time debating this and looking at the position of the hand and what we think it might have been holding. But for me, I lean slightly more towards the idea of Perseus. And that's because if we look at the body, there's very, very heavily defined musculature. And remember, at this time, late classical period, 4th century BC, that's quite out of date now. The statues have got much more smoother, leaner, softer muscles. And therefore, the heavy musculature is quite heroic and complements the idea of the Greek Perseus more than it does Paris. As well as creating a narrative, that raised arm serves another function as well. It encourages interaction with the viewer, which is something else that's going on in this period. We saw it with Apoxomenus as well. But if you're standing in front of this statue and just say it is Perseus with the head of Medusa, then you're suddenly part of the narrative. Just like with the Tyrannosides, you become the victim. In terms of pose as well, we've got some of our old favourites, contrapposto, borrowed from Polyclitus and then used again by Praxiteles, and also the trailing foot is still there as well. With this being a bronze statue, we can also see that the inlaid eyes are still intact, and we can really then start to appreciate more of this dreamy expression where the statue appears to almost be looking off into the distance.